If you've ever driven up 95 or anywhere near the Jersey Shore, you might have smelled something off. In my life, I was always told this was Dow Chemical or some fuel processing plant. But the actual secret behind the smell lies within this: sand. Some like it and some don't. On the Jersey Shore beaches, there is a lot of it, mostly covered in families with the loudest children known to mankind and some of the fattest gulls I have ever seen. But what's more important than what's on the sand is what's in it. Today, we're gonna head to one of my favorite places on Earth, Cape May, New Jersey, explore with our microscope some of the soils you might find at the beach, and show you just what makes this stuff so stinky and why it's so important. Our destination, Cape May, New Jersey, is located just on the southern tip of the state, edging the Delaware Bay. A quick ferry ride from Lewis, Delaware, Cape May is a key ecological hotbed on the east coast of the United States, with some of the most unique environments in the world. Every year, millions of shorebirds, raptors, accipiters, waterfowl, and warblers stop by on their migratory paths to refuel before they head down south. These trips can be up to 16,000 miles. The reason these descendants of dinosaurs can even do any of this is because of the Jersey Shore. These rich ecosystems provide the habitats, shelter, and nutrients that they need to continue their arduous yearly migration. And the reason why these ecosystems are so rich starts with their soil. The sand, silt, and clay provides an excellent place for plants to grow. It is also home to a myriad of creatures such as clams and crabs, and therefore providing feeding grounds for other animals, building the base for the expansive food web that spans continents. And with the advent of us humans moving in, this food web now contains pizza and glizzies. Our first stop is the beach itself. For millions of years, wind and water have been shaping this coastline, depositing billions and billions of pounds of sediment. That's almost as heavy as your mom. The sand that you see is mostly quartz, and within the sea of quartz are creatures like crabs and sandpipers. But as you might have noticed, no plants, and that's for good reason. Let's take a look in the microscope to figure out why. Look just how large these grains of sand really are. This is only 100x magnification. As you can see, there's almost nothing in this pinch of sand besides the occasional bit of bacterial growth. These thick granules of quartz can't sustain much life because they're actually just too thick. With no ability to hold water between them, plants can't get the nutrients that they need, and even worse, the ocean washes away any nutrients that might otherwise get trapped. Furthermore, this just leaves behind salt, which really isn't good for most plants. However, just a few feet up the beach, you might notice some darker patches of sand that start to form, especially during low tide. Much like a teenager's face, this is the beginning of bacterial growth. In between the tidal cycles of the ocean, these patches of sand are given time and space to breathe, which can allow for bacteria and algae to grow. If we take a look at the grains of sand from here, you can see that there are actually what appears to be organic growth between the granules. This is what darkens this patch of the beach. However, when the tide and waves come up, these bits of sand get swept away and mixed with the rest of the beach until low tide comes and gives them time to regrow. On the beach, you'll never really see plants growing much until you travel a little bit further inland. This is where you'll finally see some large grasses and shrubs. These can only exist here due to incredible adaptations, such as robust taproots to hold loose sand together, small leaves to decrease the surface area exposed to the wind, and some plants even fix their own nitrogen, reducing their need to rely on bacteria for fertilization. So you may be thinking, hey, this guy's full of crap. If the beach is basically a desert, there's no way it's the cause of the smell that I get on 995. And yes, I am full of crap, but I usually get rid of it every morning. If you will bear with me and head just a few hundred feet inland, you will find the source of the stink: the wetlands. Unlike the sandy beaches, these are resource-rich, lush habitats, full of life everywhere you look. These wetlands are based in hyper-productive, water-rich hydric soils full of decomposing organic matter. This mucky, spongy, honestly disgusting dirt holds a tremendous amount of nutrients due to its low oxygen content, slowing the decomposition of all the dead plants and animals within it. Nice and dirty, just like your mom. Oh, it smells terrible. The high water retention of the soil provides a perfect place for the plants to thrive, which then provides shelter for many creatures, including myself. It is a stunning place to spend some time on the water and enjoy yourself. Under the microscope, you can clearly see just how much organic matter is embedded within the soil. Among the shards of quartz, silt, and clay, you will find things like the roots of plants, hyphae of fungi, and even the remnants of diatoms, which are plankton, that I actually made a video on. This lack of oxygen in the soil provides the perfect breeding ground for nitrogen-fixing bacteria, which are crucial for breaking down these organic materials and recycling them for new plants to grow. The small particle size of the soil is what allows all of this to happen, by increasing the surface area where water can stick to, helping the soil retain water. You can see all the green microbial growth in between the particles, which then further increases the surface area of the soil, allowing it to retain even more water. This is the building block for all wetlands around the world. There is so much life in this type of ecosystem that, given the right conditions, it can even be burned as fuel. In places like Scotland, they harvest their peat bogs, which are a form of wetlands, and burn the land to give their whiskey that characteristic funk and flavor that is renowned around the world, creating gorgeous drinks that can sell for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per bottle. But these wetlands do way more than just violate our nostrils, feed some wildlife, and make some awesome alcohol. As the number of storms and turbulent weather increases, marshes help absorb and store excess water during heavy rains and storm surges, reducing the impact of flooding. The sponginess of wetland soils allows them to act as buffers, slowing down water flow and minimizing flood damage to nearby areas. The roots of wetland plants bind the soil, preventing it from being washed away by waves and currents. This stabilization helps protect shorelines from erosion and maintains the integrity of coastal landscapes. Wetland soils act as natural filters, trapping pollutants, sediments, and nutrients from runoff before they can reach open water. This filtration process greatly improves water quality, making wetlands crucial for maintaining healthy aquatic ecosystems. These essential natural services support biodiversity, protect shorelines, improve water quality, and even store carbon. As per usual, these wetlands are heavily threatened by human activity. Since the 1900s, we've been greatly increasing the development of these areas since living by the water is pretty damn awesome. This map from EOS shows just how much wetlands have been obliterated around the world. In just the last 100 years, over 50% of the wetlands around the world have been drained. A quick glimpse at Google Maps shows how all these incredible coastal ecosystems have been replaced with agriculture, housing, and industry. In fact, the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C., was actually built on top of a wetland, much like the one we're investigating today. Fortunately, there are some efforts going on to support these extremely important pieces of Earth. Successful programs like the Chesapeake Bay Program and public-private partnerships like the North American Wetlands Conservation Act focus on creating sustainable paths to maintain and preserve delicate wetlands and protect them for future generations to come. So next time you're driving through New Jersey and nature tickles your nose, know that it's the smell of our beautiful planet and the millions of creatures that call it home. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Not So Small. Next time you're outdoors in nature, don't forget to use your nose. It might take you on an investigative journey that you never would have expected.